It seems like the Federal Reserve hasn't caught a break lately, and now it's dealing with the economic shock of another war. With Fed Chair Jerome Powell saying the full effects of the Iran war are still uncertain, the Fed left rates unchanged for a second straight meeting. Instead of asking a magic 8-ball for answers, I have Preston Caldwell here. He's a senior U.S. economist for Morningstar Investment Management. Nice to see you, Preston.
Hey, Valentina. Thanks for having me.
So, most Fed officials are still predicting at least one rate cut this year. But, as Powell said, the economic shocks from the war are not clear yet. So, could the Fed stick with a wait-and-see approach and leave rates alone for the rest of this year? How has your forecast changed, Preston?
Yeah, I think in the short run, they're definitely going to wait and see at the very least. It's important to remember that, these projections that the FOMC members offer for the future path of the federal funds rate are just projections. They're not a commitment in any way, shape, or form. Sometimes the Fed will make a commitment to embark on a certain policy path, like we saw back in 2022 when they made it very clear they were going to raise rates meeting after meeting. But that's not the norm most of the time. And right now the Fed is giving virtually no forward guidance. They're saying that there's a variety of events that are playing out right now that are outside of our control, and we're going to have to wait to see the results of those events before we can tell you anything about where monetary policy is going to go. And some of the reporters tried to push Powell saying, well, if this scenario plays out, will you do this or vice versa? But he really wasn't keen to play that game because there's just too many unknowns right now. So, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. In the range of possibilities certainly includes no rate cuts in 2026. The market is starting to inch closer to that direction. Back in January, the market had priced in 2 rate cuts for 2026. And that's, as of yesterday afternoon, was pared down to 1, and edging close to 0 rate cuts in terms of market expectations. So that seems to be moving closer to the consensus view right now.
Now we're going to talk about the word stagflation. It keeps